G'day boys, and welcome to the second part of my Mega Man X3 LP. Last time we did the intro stage and we took down the first two Mavericks. I should have explained the weaknesses to the first two Mavericks in the first part, but anyway, in case you don't go after them first, Tunnel Rhino is weak to Toxic Seahorse's weapon, and Blizzard Buffalo is weak to Blast Hornet's weapon. Speaking of which, we're actually going to go after Blast Hornet next, actually, so... yeah. And anyway... and he's got such a fire thing. Anyway, we're at a factory. Bunch of shit being thrown at us from these little enemies. Anyway. There isn't really much to say in this bit, other than there's a few conveyor belts and stuff. Anyway, we're soon about to go up against a mini-boss though, so... and the mini-boss is... a holographic... origami thing. It's split into 3 phases. The first phase, it'll jump up when you shoot it. Second phase, it'll just go around the room, and the third phase, it'll just bounce around the room. Yeah. Not sure if there's more phases to it, because I always beat it at the third phase anyway, so... anyway... we're up to this bit now, and... I hope you have the tornado thing at this point, because we're gonna need it to get something here. Just gonna drill through these crates, and just drill through this wall. And we got a ride armor. Yeah, so ride armors, they can be collectibles in this game. There's 4 of them. There's the normal one, the kangaroo one, the frog one, and the hawk one. However, you'll need to get the normal one first to use all 4 of them, so that's why I decided to go with this one first. Then again, I'm not sure if I really need these throughout most of the run anyway, so... but I'm a completionist. I like to collect stuff the fast way without little backtrack anyway. Here's another mini-boss. It's this ship, and these little drone things will come down and place these crates down. Yeah. And if you defeat Gravity Beetle before taking on Blast Hornet, then this airship won't actually show up, so... Anyway... yeah. After a while, the ship will go away. And yeah. Anyway... I'm gonna use the ride armor to jump up here. And... there's our second heart tank. And where the fuck did my ride armor go? I don't know. Okay, so now I'm gonna explain the empty boss room doors. So... those empty boss room doors are when you fight Bit and Bite. Bit and Bite aren't like the X-Hunters from the last game. There you can fight them, they're optional to fight, and the reward for fighting them is that you get Zero's parts. For Bit and Bites, well, these guys are mandatory to fight. They are both mandatory to fight. There's also a third Nightmare Police member, spoiler alert, it's Vile. And he's actually optional to fight. It wasn't really a spoiler anyway, because it was pretty obvious it's Vile anyway. But anyway, I'm just go into this room and see if Bit shows up. Yep, and Bit's shown up.
Welcome, Mix. I'm Bit. I have my orders. You are to be destroyed.
So here's Bit. He's a little annoying to fight. Well, both of them are annoying. Basically, yeah, he shoots a homing projectile or a ring at you, and then he'll try and slash you. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need a sub-tank for this. Yeah, I'm gonna use a sub-tank. I'm not risking it. And we got his weakness out, which is the Frost Shield. Hence why I've got it out. And depending on how you beat them, it'll change the outcome of the Doppler stage. Fuck, do I have to use both of my sub-tanks? Fuck's sake. But anyway, if you kill him with his, if you beat him with his weakness, he dies. If you don't, he'll come back later. But anyway,
This Reploid's special abilities are too... No, it can't be. Gah!
bye-bye, Bit. No one's gonna miss you. But anyway, whenever they show up as random, Bit will either show up in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th Maverick stage you go through, and Bites will show up in the 6th, 7th, or 8th one. To get to Vile, there is a few hidden areas which has this little teleporting capsule thing that you can use to go through and fight him. But anyway, we're at Blast Hornet now. Anyway, of course we don't have his weakness again. His weakness is Gravity Beetle's weapon in case you decide not to go after him now. But anyway, here's what he does. He'll try to use a stinger to try and sting you. He will shoot a bunch of hornets at you, and if they latch onto you, they will explode. So you want to be careful. He's not too bad for the first phase. Well, not explode, but like do that on you. Or latch onto you, yeah. He's not... I wouldn't necessarily call him like one of the easiest bosses, but he's far from one of the hardest. There are a few people saying he's pretty difficult. I'm gonna have to disagree. I still don't think he's easy, but... And I wouldn't recommend going after him first either, but... It's just personal preference, I guess. Anyway... Blast Hornet's dead. And we get his weapon. Of course. And by defeating him, we get the parasitic bomb. Pretty much, it shoots a bomb that can latch onto enemies, and it'll crash into like another enemy that's on screen. It's an alright weapon. I don't use it often, but it does get the job done. Anyway, let's go after Neon Tiger next. Anyway, we're at a jungle now. Bunch of dragonflies that you can actually use as platforms, which is pretty cool. I'll bet they will attack you if you attack another enemy though, so do keep that in mind. God, those big enemies with the maces are annoying. Okay, up here is a sub-tank. Yep, which I go easy peasy. Okay. Go down here, fill up my sub-tanks. Anyway, I'm just gonna use frost shields to destroy these enemies quickly. And over here, use the tornado fang, destroy this wall. Air dash here, air dash vertically here, and our second light capsules here. Enter this capsule, X. Take this X-Buster upgrade. The upgrade will increase the strength of your charge shots. You'll be able to shoot 2 charge shots at once. If timed correctly, you can overlap the shots to create a single cross-charge shot. This upgrade will also allow you to charge any special weapon. Like all other upgrades. Yes, we know, Dr. Light, we know. But yeah, the arm upgrade, it pretty much does what Dr. Light said. I mean, this. And I'm gonna be honest, I actually don't really find it that useful. I definitely think this is the weakest arm upgrade in the SNES trilogy, if I'm being honest. It is definitely a massive downgrade from like X2's arm upgrade, which like gave you 2 powerful like charge shots. Here it just gives you 1 sort of good charge shot and then like a pretty weak one, so but anyway, here's a mini boss. It's this giant robot centipede thing. Basically, he does this. Yeah. And I killed him. Why do I hear something out of my door? I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna use a right armor here, cause why not? Anyway, there we go. Fill up my sub-tanks more. we won't have to worry about Bite now because he won't show up for the next 2 levels at least, so there is a chance he'll show up in the 6th one though. So yeah. But we're not gonna tackle the 6th Maverick until the next part anyway, so yeah. Anyway, there's these enemies that leave these spikes on the ground. Luckily, these spikes that these enemies make are not instant kill though, so yippee. Anyway, we're gonna stand on Dragonfly. Air dash here, and there's our 3rd heart tank. And now we're also at the boss as well, so yippee. So here's Neon Tiger. So pretty much what he does, he shoots his little energy balls at you. He'll try and slash you. He'll cling onto the walls. The energy balls, they are pretty easy to dodge. Yeah, you just jump over the 3rd one when he does it on the ground. That's my strategy. I don't know if I have a strategy on the... Yeah, he does a lot of damage if he slashes you, so keep that in mind. He's not necessarily a hard Maverick, but when you get into close contact with him, he can hit like a truck. Yeah. Yeah, when he does that, he'll try and dash into you and try to slash you. But anyway, we beat him. Yeah. And of course, you know the drill, we get his weapon when we beat him. And it's the Ray Splasher. Basically, it shoots a stream of energy pellets. It's not my favorite weapon in the world, but it's alright, I guess. It's an okay weapon. But anyway... Oh yeah, I should mention Neon Tiger's weak to Crush Corefish. I forgot to mention that. But anyway, let's go take on Gravity Beetle next. Dun-dun. Here we are. And usually there'll be crates in this area, but since we just beat Blast Hornets, they're now gone. It's also why those enemies have now green, and they don't shoot out those little bomb things as well. And because we beat Blast Hornet first, we now have access to this heart tank. Yeah, yippee. Right. Of course, there won't be any bite there, so there's no point. I must say, I think out of all the Mavericks in this game, I think Gravity Beetle might have my favorite theme in this game. I don't know, it's a toss between him or Toxic Seahorse. I don't know, actually. Anyway, I also got the second... I got the second right armor, which is the frog armor. It allows you to just go use it underwater. Though it is pretty slow, though. I'll show it off when we get to Toxic Seahorses level, so... Which, spoiler alert, I'm taking him on next. But that won't be till next time, though. So, yeah. Anyway... Anyway... Dun, 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 Anyway, we're almost done with the level. There was an upgrade right there where those crates are, but I avoided that intentionally. And you'll see why once I get to the... I'll explain once I get to the head upgrades. Get the head upgrade, so... But anyway, we're up to Gravity Beetle now. And we actually... Since we beat Neon Tiger, we do in fact have his weakness. So from this point on, we are going to fight all the Mavericks with their weaknesses, so... Anyway... There's not really much to explain here. Other than we just got his weakness. And we bit him. It's pretty easy with his weakness. Kind of tricky without his weakness though, so... But we luckily managed to beat him though. And by defeating him we get... the Gravity Well. Basically it shoots this little mini black hole. I think it like immobilizes enemies. I don't think it kills them, but immobilizes them. I could be wrong, but then again, I don't really use this weapon ever, if I'm being honest. Aside from fighting a few bosses, and that's pretty much it. But anyway, that's all the time we have for today. Stay tuned for the last... not the last part. The next part when we take on the last 3 Mavericks, plus Bite and Vile as well, so... Later.